Top 10 individuals with superhuman abilities. Levitation, super strength, hyperspeed, mind control, charge vaults. These are just examples of the superpowers that we see in our favorite sci-fi films. By watching them, sometimes it makes us want to have them, especially the kids. We can see them play and think like they have superpowers, that they can fly or break things with a hawk-like strength. Although it's just part of their imagination, wouldn't it be nice if we can really have them? Like for example, when you're so late at work and your boss keeps on ringing your phone, you just wish you can teleport or fly, right? When you see robbers getting physical with their victims, you just wish you can be like Superman, who can spin them off with your finger and toss them to Mars. You see, there are a lot of things that we can do when we have superpowers. Some people have been studying how they can replicate the superpower of the characters in the movie. An example of this is the Green Goblin from Spider-Man, with its ability to fly using its footboard. Frankie Zapata, a French inventor, successfully created a jet-powered hoverboard that works like the Green Goblin's footboard and can travel 100 miles per hour. But what if we tell you that there are ordinary-looking people living in this world that has superhuman abilities, and they don't need any machine aid? Would you be interested to know them all? Before we share them to you, don't switch channels and stay tuned if you want to know more about our countdown for today. Also, don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell for an automatic update. In today's video, we will give you the countdown for the top 10 individuals with superhuman abilities. Starting our countdown is Daniel Kish with his echolocation power. In the natural world, the beluga whales, dolphins, and bats use their echolocation system to navigate their destination. However, you'll be blown away with the ability of a 53-year-old Daniel Kish, whose eyes were removed since childhood because of retina cancer. Technically, he's blind as you would think, but Kish can see. If you were able to watch the Daredevil movie, it's kind of that. But what makes Kish special is his ability to navigate through heavy traffic, camp all by himself, dance, and climb trees. But how can he do that? The answer is in his clicking tongue. Before moving to his location, Kish clicks his tongue and listens carefully to the sound that bounces off an object around him, and then it all returns to his ears with different volumes. This helps him understand what surrounds him and warns him if there is an obstruction in his way. Because of his superhuman ability, many people with impaired vision hires him to help them do the same. What a power! I know you guys are trying to practice now, going to the kitchen while your eyes are closed. But please, don't stick out your tongue. Kish said, click the tongue, not stick out. Visualizing on number 9 is Stephen Wiltshire with his photographic memory. He may be late for being able to speak at 5 years old and was diagnosed with autism. Stephen Wiltshire has an unusual gift that no one can deny. According to his parent, the first words that he uttered in his mouth was paper and pen, which is his line of work now. Stephen Wiltshire has an amazingly developed photographic memory. With just one ride on a helicopter, he was able to memorize and draw the details of the city of Hong Kong, Tokyo, Dubai, Rome, and New York with 100% accuracy. Just so you know, 24 previous US presidents have a photographic memory, but none of them can be compared to Wiltshire's superhuman ability. Stretching on number 8 is Javier Botas with his unusual super flexibility. If you are wondering how he can bend his body like a boneless man, Javier Botas has a genetic condition called Phan syndrome. The tissues of people with Phan syndrome are affected generally and tend to be super tall, long limbs, long fingers, and abnormal flexibility. It is no wonder why Javier Botas has been cast in the horror movies like REC, Mama, The Mummy, and slender man. Most of his roles, he can bend with unimaginable poses, and if a normal person tries to do that, he or she can be hospitalized for complaining about broken bones. However, Marfan's syndrome can be mild or severe. People with severe cases can face life-threatening malfunction in the heart and other organs, while those with mild cases can live a normal and healthy life. Waking on number 7 is the mother and daughter in California, which does not need sleep. We can stay awake for a day or a week, but that would make us feel weak and sleepy. The ideal number of hours of sleep is 8 hours, but did you know that there are people who don't feel sleepy at all? Sleepyheads may be wondering now, but it's real. They owe it to their genetics, just like the mother and daughter in California, who happen to be a participant in the research of the University of California in San Francisco. Both of the mother and daughter share an unusual ability. They carry an unusual or abnormal copy of a gene called DEC2 that affects the circadian rhythm of the body. It is believed that 5% of the population in the world is affected by this genetic disposition. Most of them are a short sleeper. An 8-hour sleep for an average person will only take far less than with people in this condition. Don't you wish you can have this ability so you won't be kicked out again in class for sleeping during the teacher's discussion? Or you don't need to prick yourself during long seminars just to keep yourself awake. Attracting metals on number 6 is Liu Thon Lin with his magnetic ability. Magneto is among the most powerful characters in the X-Men movie. In a second, he can crumple thick sheets of metal plates or collapse a building with his power. But what if we tell you that there is a man like him named Liu Thon Lin that is also known for his magnetic ability? Don't doubt it, because it's true. He can stick metal objects in his body like spoon, fork, flat iron, and other objects that are made with metal. What's more amazing is that he can pull a car with magnetic force effortless. Researchers conducted a study on Liu Thon Lin's body, like to where does this magnetic ability comes from. Based on studies, they found out that he doesn't possess any magnetic field in the body. However, his skin has an impressive rate of friction which causes metal objects to stick. What a skin! I wonder if he's having a hard time during mealtime. Imagine while eating with his guest. Does every fork and spoon move on the table towards him? What an unusual problem. He might be thinking of eating with bare hands instead. Chewing a number 5 is Michel Lotito with his ability to eat. Normal humans cannot. Eating is part of our daily routine. Some people made it their pastime or channel to release their stress. Besides, who can resist a hot and aromatic food? It would be impossible for us not to think of it in a single day. But did you know that there is a person who can eat what we cannot eat? You must be puzzled by now, but Muju Mojatu will prove to you that he is the one and only Mr. Eat All. Well, if you are doubting, he just ate the whole aircraft of Cessna 150. You're probably thinking of the gas tank, dirt, seats, tires, glass, metals, ceramics in the bathroom, but yes, he ate them too. He can actually eat anything without harming his organs. This ability is due to his condition called pica, a disorder that allows sufferers to have an appetite for non-consumable foods such as glass, rubber, rocks, dirt. But what's more special about it is that he has an unusual thick lining in the stomach and intestines that makes it possible for him to eat sharp, toxic, and metal objects. If it would be us, I don't think a single metal will pass in our throat without bleeding or choking. Charging vault on number 4 is Raj Mohan Err with his electric ability. Electricity is what generates our appliances and other devices. It is very important, for without it, the machines that we use to simplify our tasks will be useless and dysfunctional. But the electric supply itself isn't safe for us humans. Like broken wire cables, They can perfectly roast us depending on its voltage, but surprisingly, one man can stand against it without being harmed. Meet Raj Mohan Err, or the Electric Man. He looks perfectly normal, but he possesses an unusual ability to repel electricity. He can work face to face with electricity up to 30 times the capacity of a normal individual. He is not even intimidated by a large electricity, even if you let it pass through his body or wrap around the copper wires in his body to check his ability. He can effortlessly withstand all of these because he is the Electric Man. Analyzing on number 3 is Harold Whitmore Williams and his Megamind. Learning a new language is fun, especially if the place is very dear to you. Language is an important part of communication and building relations, but did you know that a person named Harold Whitmore Williams, who was born in Auckland, year 1876, can speak and understand 58 languages? Learning 7 languages is impressive, but 58 will be so extraordinary. He can speak English, Old Irish, different languages of the Austrian Empire, Hungarian, Czech, Albanian, Serbian, Romanian, Basque, Swedish, Turkish, Mandarin Chinese, Japanese, Egyptian, Hittite, Coptic, Tagalog, plus other dialects. His amazing ability was caused by an explosion in his brain at the age of 7, but instead of having a bad reaction to the body, the incident helped him elevate his education and memorization. He was notable for being the most accomplished polyglot in history and has used his capabilities as a tool of diplomacy with every representative of the League of Nations. Amazing, right? Scanning on number 2 is Veronica Cider and her supervision. Eyes are the windows of the soul and our deepest expression of pain, fear, happiness, and excitement. But what if you can see things that can usually be seen using binoculars? This is the ability of Veronica Cider, who has 20 times supervision than normal people. If you think having this isn't special, just so you know, she can accurately identify people that are more than 1.6 kilometers away from her. For us average, having a 20/20 vision is a relief. But in her case, she possesses an extraordinary visual acuity of 20 too. It can be compared to a telescope that views constituents of colors and details of distant objects. Because of her extraordinary vision, she became famous in her school at Stuttgart University, West Germany. Well, who wouldn't be famous with that special ability, right? Topping our countdown for today is Lawrence Kim and his exceptional memory. Most of us love to read books, especially when we are reviewing or being engrossed in our favorite novel. When we read, we usually start to left page to right. But did you know that there is a person on earth that can read 2 pages of a book simultaneously? You are not dreaming because it's true. Lawrence Kim is an American man with autism who has an exceptional memory and the only savant known to science that can do such. They usually describe Kim as a mega savant because he can read 1 page with 1 eye simultaneously. So technically, he reads the left page with his left eye and the right page with his right eye. What an amazing ability to possess! His exceptional ability, according to his father, started when he was 16 to 20 months old. Lawrence Kim can finish reading a book within 1 hour and can tell everything about the book that he reads because, yes, he can memorize well. With his amazing abilities, a movie was inspired by his condition, the movie Rain Man, who was portrayed by Raymond Babbitt or Dustin Hoffman. As of now, only Lawrence Kim is known to have ever possessed this kind of gift, and it is impossible for an average person to do that. I'm sure one of you is thinking that this ability would be efficient if you are a student. Imagine, you can memorize all books for a semester plus you don't need to review your notes because you already know what's in the book. Just wow! These superhuman abilities have taught us that what we think is impossible could be possible. Although most of us don't possess this, doesn't mean we can't do better. After all, we are all born with unique traits and characteristics. So, being you, without comparing yourself to anyone, is a power. Do you think that we can see a group of superhuman in the future like the Avengers, DC, or X-Men? Or do you know someone with unusual abilities? We would love to see your answer in our comment section. If you like this video, give us a thumbs up or share this video on your wall. This has been our countdown for top 10 individuals with superhuman abilities. Join us again next time for more interesting and informative videos. Ciao!